Talk, a voice on the line I hear, coming through Geocache Talk.
It's time for
Geocaching
with Kids!
And we're live. So, there we go.
For trash in parking lots? That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it. So we didn't go geocaching.
It is awesome to be here. My first time officially, I'm just going to say officially, on the Geocache Talk podcast.
This year, the Podcast of Hope selected St. Jude's as its charity. St. Jude's life-saving mission of finding cures for children battling cancer.
Jeremy basically bought a GPS device and drove a couple hours away because there were no stashes at the time nearby where we were.
Oh no, Gary just spilled the beans.
Polar, because Amy really believed that was an ensemble show. That was not the Amy Poehler show.
Right.
That was an ensemble show because Amy doesn't have that. There's some egos out there that can be tough. That's not Amy. Amy wanted a funny show with funny people. And so her goal was that we would all shine.
Hello, Geocache Talk Network. My name is Kenny Wallace. Well, I raced in 905 NASCAR races, and still today, I've actually found a geocache or two.
Gary and Jesse, what's going on? Josh Gates here from Discovery's Expedition Unknown, coming to you from the wilds of my home office. My former producer Barsky's a fan, so I know it's got to be a great show. And I just want to say, keep going. Adventure is out there for everyone. And again, congratulations. Bye-bye.
The second member of the 20 CHTA Hall of Fame this year is Geocache Talk, and that would be Mr. Gary Slinker and Jesse Memphis Lunsford. Come on up.
Hello, and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Geocache Talk Network. You can watch the show live now on the first Sunday of every month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show on your favorite podcast player.
In this episode, we'll be talking about how far we've come, both as a network after 500 shows and as challenge cachers. We also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com and you could be a winner.
And later in the show, we also play our special game exclusively for our live audience, the
Wheel of Challenges.
So listen live and get your email app ready and follow instructions when the time comes so you can have a chance at winning the grand prize, a 1-year membership to Project GC.
And later on, we'll also highlight some of the challenge caches you found, and someone will win our monthly giveaway.
And we are your hosts, Emily and Geoff from Cache the Line, and we've got oodles of guests because it is
Welcome,
a special
everyone.
occasion.
Hey,
And
everybody.
we have even more prizes for live chat and audio listeners. So here's a first one to get you started. If you are live in chat, there's a hashtag you can put into the chat to win one of our GeoCoin draws that Gary is going to be giving away. And we've got another one to be awarded next week for anyone who's listening audio only. You'll still have a chance to win, and you can listen for how later in the show. So if you're in chat, yes, comment GTN 500, hashtag GTN 500 for a chance to win one of 2 Geocache Talk Network geocoins from a couple of other shows. That's going to be awesome. So, how has everybody else's month been?
Oh, crazy.
I think it's been a rough month for everybody. We've all had some interesting things going on, but all that life keeps getting in the way of geocaching.
I've worked 2 of the 3 days so far this month.
Seriously? You've worked now this month. I think in
This
March.
month, April 3rd.
Probably.
You said
I'm
this
still
month.
my brain's still in March.
Anyone been doing challenge caching or preparing for it?
Absolutely. So I just got the notification last night that there's a series of 5 new challenges that came out. And I didn't know anything about them. I don't even know who the cacher is that brought them out in our area. And they're actually kind of out a little bit away from town. So I suspect somebody's already gotten them today. I wasn't able to get over there today, but it's a good series of challenges. There's more challenges to go for. So
Awesome. Do you qualify yet, or do you have to work towards them?
I believe I actually qualify for all of these. Unfortunately, it's nothing to work towards. So these are all like fizzy based, but I'm still going to go get them. You know, they're still challenges, and I'm still going to go get them and sign them. But you know, every once in a while, you prefer them to be something to work towards, not just ones that you've done. So,
Right.
I just saw a bunch of new challenge caches published on a little trail about an hour away from me, and they looked like a range of difficulties. So that was good. Like some easier ones. I think one was having 1,000 finds, and then there was something about multiple counties in a number of countries or something like that. So there's a good range that I'll have to get to eventually. I haven't looked at them yet. Shame.
The shame wheel. Shame.
I've been plugging along at filling my calendar with at least 3 hides per date. And I had one yesterday. I had to get one yesterday. And now for the rest of the week, I think I have to get 6. And that's on work days. And that's just, I don't go geocaching on work days. So I feel like I'm like facing this week-long gotta go geocaching. And I think I'm realizing I'm not into streaks or must do geocaching. I want it organically to come along. So still going to do it, but I think I'm realizing that about myself, just even trying to bring my calendar up to 3 per day.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, at least the nice thing about that date found grid is that you can put them on your calendar. If you know you've got to go and find some caches on that date, you can plan for it ahead of time.
Yeah, I set an alarm to come up at 10 p.m. the night before, so I can start to mentally prepare if I've completely forgotten, which is what happened to me this past week.
Yeah. Oops. Well, because similarly, I'm working on so for people who don't know, on that statistics page for your profile, the dates in the year grid for your date founds, they shade it a darker color at certain numbers per date. So a lot of people call it like the darker challenge or variations of that. So I think 3 was one where it darkens a shade. One that is kind of a medium difficulty is getting 11 per date found in the year. And I just managed to finish that one last year. So now I'm kind of passively working towards the next shade, which is 26 per date. So every month, at the end of the month, I update the next month with all the dates that need to get a certain number of caches. And, yeah, kind of passively. I mean, that's a big one. That's 366 times 26 per date. And that's even, like, that's still making a strong effort for it. So
yeah, that's a lot.
26 on every day of the calendar year? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not not a huge amount of geocaches total, but because it's spread out for every date, you know, everybody has a few dates where you might have a couple hundred or something like that, but you know, spreading out 26 for every date on top of a casual caching habit can be a lot more work.
That's still like 10,000 caches. That's still a lot of
26.
caches.
26 times 366. That is 9,516 caches. Yeah, that's
still a lot of caches for most people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Acorn Mama said in the chat about spreading out adventure labs, and that's what I've been doing. Like, I won't finish a whole lab in my town. I'll just do one stage, And that's one find, and it counts on my calendar. So yeah, I've been spreading out Adventure Labs a lot.
Yeah. Now, I need to insert. You got to be careful because some challenges might be only geocaches, not Adventure Labs. So, your stats grid on your profile will include Adventure Labs. But if you're looking for a challenge for a certain number of finds for each date, they might not include Adventure Labs. So you gotta watch
That's a really
that.
good point. I'm not focused on any given challenge to do this. I'm just focused on the visual of my calendar, but I don't have a choice. There's like no caches here for me to find. And even there's a cache in my town behind a no trespassing sign, and I can't
don't
go
do
for
it.
that. I don't
Don't
want to
do it.
do that. So that one's basically off the table, even though it's really close to my house, you know?
Legally, if you tear down that no trespassing sign first, you're not trespassing. Just throwing
Is
out
that how
there
that
for you.
works?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Just cover it with a black trash bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Black trash bag over it. Take it off when you go back.
That's the way I found it.
Yeah. The one other challenge that I thought I completed last month.
This is great, Geoff. Maybe for our entertainment.
Was to find a challenge cache. So I don't know if there's actually a challenge cache yet for this, but the challenge, kind of a personal one, was to find and qualify and find one challenge cache for each date of the year. Project GC has that option. So in your profile on Project GC, you can go to the challenges tab, and then it'll show basically the same sort of stats, but only for challenge caches. So you get your date found grid for just challenge caches. And trying to complete that grid, I started last year. And, every month, same thing, mark off the dates, got to find one. This is the task for the day, got to get a challenge cache. It got to the point where it was an hour drive to get the nearest qualified cache to fill that day. It's a lot of driving, very expensive. But I came to the last day, I was like, yes, finally qualified. I even celebrated at the final challenge cache that I found. It was snowing. It was bad weather. I doubled up because I wanted to make sure, I got to get that last day. And then I posted to social media, yes, I qualified, woohoo. And then I got comments saying, August has 31 days in it, right? And I'm looking at the grid, I'm like, well, yeah, there's 31 days in August. And I look closer, and there's an empty grid on August 31st, an empty square. And it's kind of hidden, it blends in with the side because it's that little one.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I didn't mark it on the calendar, and it's months ago, and I didn't even see it. I'm like, no, one more day. But it's just a couple months down the road, so it's on the calendar. Getting that day. Oh.
Celebrate even bigger that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we did actually get an email from Gary the GBs, who raised another thing to work towards with all the stuff happening this summer. There's a challenge cache that's been around since 2009, and it's the Super Pick Me Cache Challenge. It's 5 difficulty, and it's an old one, but it's basically a photo scavenger hunt. And because it's pre-moratorium, they have their own rules set, and basically you have to post a note to that challenge cache, to that challenge page, the cache page, with one photo and sequentially each of the items in the list. And once you hit number 30, then you qualify for the challenge. And he sent the email reminding us that this would be a good one if you're heading west to Geo Woodstock and HQ in August, because it sits right between BC and on the way to Seattle. So if you're going to be doing both, then you could swing by and grab that, but you need to prep for it because it takes it's a 5 difficulty.
Great one.
Yeah, and I mean you can look at the number of logs. There's 3,700 notes on that cache because there's so many photos. I think he said that it holds the record for the most photos in the gallery. I think as well, something like that. Just because every individual note is a new photo for the challenge. It's nuts. But something to consider if you're heading west in August.
Great. And what's that GC number again?
It is GC1HWC1.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, I just wanted to mention that one because that's another one. It'll take a lot of work. So yeah, and Charles, have you said anything yet about your past month? Have you done any challenge caching at all?
I've been working towards one. So there's one here in Arizona that requires you to find 100 of 8 different cache types. And it is a 5-5. So traditionals, multis, letterbox.
100 of each type?
100 of each type. And he gives you a list to pick from. You've got to get 8 of the ones off of this that you can actually get, right? So I have all of them done except Where I Goes. Don't hate me, Jesse.
You build Where I Goes. You have to have found a bunch of them.
I'm sitting at like 45, and so when I flew out to the Texas Challenge Mega, I had found a whole host of reverse Where I Goes and sat at home and solved them all, and because they're the cheap ones that you can solve using Geek Frog.
They're basically puzzle caches.
Yeah, so I've completed a bunch of those, and then just showed up to the finals and did that. But I think I'm up somewhere in the 60s, so I still have 40 more Where I Go, to do. But there's a actual Where I Go geo art out here in the Arizona desert.
Oh,
so
great!
There you go.
We've been working on that. It's got something like 400 Where I Goes in this geo art.
Oh my gosh!
Wow!
and it's just outside of Yuma. And had I planned this right, then when I went to the Yuma Mega, I could have swung down and gotten a bunch of them. But alas, it didn't happen. So now we're planning another trip to go down there. You have to get a permit from the Air Force because it's in a bombing test area. So you actually, all the caches are out in the impact zone. And so you have to get a permit to get out there, and they close the range down. It's the Barry Goldwater bombing range. So it's out here in Arizona in the desert. And so we've got a bunch of them solved and have to get down there, but it's a 5-5 geocache, challenge cache. I've already signed it, but I'm short in one category for having 100 finds, and that's Where I Goes, and I'm working on it.
You got to knock
That's
that one.
awesome.
That's a good point to raise as well. Like if you're going to be coming down to Cache Fest in July, doing any road trip stuff, make sure you look for some of those caches you need for those challenges, the rare challenges especially, because that's
new
your
areas
best opportunity.
always. Yeah.
So if you have any questions or comments that you want to share, then as usual, you can send us an email to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com. And we might comment about it and share it with the community.
Yeah. And just a little plug for some upcoming April events. I'm a big fan of city challenges or like non-geocaching events that combine with the geocaching challenge. So there's 2 of them in Medford and Central Point, Oregon areas in April. So check out the map, the geo map in that area, Medford, Oregon, for those events. And you can earn some geocoins this month. Mm-hmm. I love those.
So we also like to highlight our challenge cache statistics, care of Project GC every month. And we like to kind of track the quantity of checkers and all that stuff. And so this month, as you can see in the challenge checkers section of Project GC, there's a little corner section for checker statistics, for people who love statistics. And so the first one, we have active scripts at 7,600. Well, as of this afternoon, it's gone up a little bit. 7,652, up from 7,532 last month, which is another 120, which is more than last month's increase. We have 40,303 unique challenges, which is up from 39,817. That's 486 since last month, which is also more than the prior month. So we're getting a little bit of acceleration here. We've got 49,650 active tags, which is up from 49,036 or 614, also increased from last month. And worldwide, of all of the active challenge caches, that's searched by the challenge cache attribute, we have 33,328, which is up by 260 from last year, which is a little less than the prior year. So it seems like there's more activity going on kind of behind the scenes, maybe prepping for next month. Maybe we'll see a big boost in numbers. Who knows? But it's always good to see those numbers going up, not down.
Those are all people that are trying to hide for the GTN 2022 challenge.
hope.
Wow. Hey, Jesse, you want to talk about the GTN 2022 Hide Challenge?
Way to shoehorn that in.
That's where all those challenge checkers are coming from, right? We issued the challenge. When did we issue that challenge? Was that last month?
A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
February, end of February, beginning of March.
End of February.
Yeah, to coincide and to go along with the year of the hide, we've challenged this group, everybody on this panel, plus everybody that's associated with Geocache Talk Network. Look, Charles hiding. Yeah, we already saw you, Charles. Too late. The ultimate challenge on this one is to try to hide one quality geocache of every icon type that's available to you, right? So if you got a virtual, hide a virtual. If you didn't get one, you can't do that or whatever. But there's a lot of types out there. Hide a bunch of Wheragos so Charles can finally get his challenge completed. He'll come get them. But we will. We're not putting too much pressure on yet. We'll put it on later in the year. We'll give everybody some time to think through some. We don't want to just slap down some junk, right? We want good quality stuff out there. That's what we're trying to promote. But we'll definitely do some prizes later on in the year. And you've got all the way to the end of the year. So everybody that hears our voice right now, by the end of December 31st, you should have at least one hide in every category. That's what we're challenging people for.
That's a lot of
possible for you, right?
Gary, yeah, that's possible, obviously, right? Like now, if you find a way to hide something that's not possible, let us know because that's awesome.
Yeah, we'd like to know.
Like, I'm going to hide a webcam or something that there's only 85 left in the US. But anyway,
get those webcams out there.
Yeah, man, those things are going away. But that's too depressing for this show. But
I know.
Hide some caches, hide some quality ones. Let us know when you do, so we can help promote them and let other people know that they're out there. And if everybody that's listening does this, there's obviously at least a billion people listening to the show tonight. So if everybody does that, we have new quality cache types in all of those categories. So that's we'll talk more and more about that as the year goes on. Everybody's still thinking. That's what's happening right now. Everybody's still thinking about it. So
all right, and use our hashtag GTN 2022 hides. So we know about what you're doing and we can inspire each other, see some pictures of your awesome hides.
Yeah. If you want to, you don't have to. I did it in one of mine. I had one published already, and we're not going to get into that one tonight, but I went ahead and snuck in because you can put stuff in parentheses and everything else. I just put GTN 2022 in the name of the cache.
Oh, great.
Which is no problem. We can all do that. That's legal. So somebody. Oh,
just finding our way. He's got one on.
Just finding our way.
A puzzle cache. Yeah, that's good.
And then Owen from KC says he's got one going.
Yeah,
nice.
A partner
a partner large. Yeah, is there a start date for this? Because I want to include my Mingo tribute challenge cache.
So
it was placed
Gary said a start date of whenever the one for Year of the Hide started. Whatever that date was, I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it was
March 1. I thought, wasn't it?
March 1st. I think so.
I don't remember.
Maybe
somewhere around there.
We'll go back and look. I'm pretty sure.
The whole point is to put out quality hides. So if you put out a quality hide on February 31st, awesome. You're pretty impressive anyway. So
can you change the place date to past the published date? Can I change the place date to a qualifying date?
Oh, I see.
Now you're talking about some crap like Charles and I would do. That's how we play the game. We don't recommend everybody else do that.
That's right.
Hey, those are tools. And just for anyone who says he thinks I'm correct, so that's good.
So we're going to highlight that comment.
Yep. Owen,
my thought on that
says
is
March 1st.
If they didn't want that to happen, there wouldn't be puzzles that have a published date of 1901 out there. Yeah, there are still some of those out there that they've allowed to sneak through.
Yeah.
So,
and that's putting them way back in the past. I'm not sure if I've ever actually checked if you can put a published date past. No, the place date past
The future
later
date?
than the published date.
Yeah,
Because
so
events are a
have the-
future date.
Can.
Yeah, because events are dated in the future, but I'm not sure if that's restricted to events or if it's possible for everything.
I know there are some caches out there that predate geocaching.
Oh
Yeah. They
I think they've been
predate
cracking down on those though. If you
satellite
if you do a search
technology.
for all active caches and then sort by place date, I think they're all
Place date.
valid now. I think they've been fixed.
It looks like they have. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's
They're
funny.
cracking
So-
down on that. Yeah.
There was a time when people would use the place date as a puzzle clue.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
they might put July 4th, 1776 as the place date because they want you to think about, either
Yeah.
Independence Day or the Declaration of Independence or something. That's
But
your
that
clue
messes
for
up
that
so many
puzzle.
stats. So many stats
Yeah.
that messes up.
Oh yeah. Hey, so does all those DT changes you do, Jesse, every day.
I change
You
mine
go
once
in
a
there
week
and you
just for fun.
you
Yeah.
Once a
manipulate all
week,
those
you just
dates.
go in and change things. Wow.
Take all the fives and make them ones, and then everybody freaks
Yeah.
out.
As
'cause
soon
they
as
don't have
somebody
their fuzzy
finds
grid
one, like for an
filled.
FTF, I change the icon type just to really mess with them. But that's just the fun of the game. They'd lock it down if they didn't want us to do it, right?
That's
So
that's for another show for sure. We gotta talk about that again. They gotta do that.
Gary,
they gotta
you-
lock that thing down.
Yeah, and you can continue because apparently you've got some news to share as well.
I do. Time for my news. You want to hit the news bumper, producer? Hit the news bumper. Give me some news bumper. So first off, I'm walking again. No, I'm not. Just kidding. I'm hoping to walk soon. I'm starting to transition from a wheelchair to an actual walker. So
Oh no, Gary just spilled the beans.
So maybe not like Luke Skywalker, but G-Slink, the like old man walker. So anyway, so hopefully one day I'll transition from that. Anyway, so my other notes are, here we go. Got quite a few. So I'm going to rapid fire them because we got a lot to cover tonight. Escape Room Challenge sign up is done. There's no more sign up. We are at capacity. It has been closed. The Escape Room Challenge is set. We have our group of people that are going to do that challenge at the community celebration that Derek has published. That is in during Cache Fest week in Memphis. Another quick note on that: Host Hotel is filling up very fast, and so we suggest you get your reservation in soon for that. Then a couple more Cache Fest, and then I got some other notes. Last day to purchase swag, the swag packages, the VIP packages, the gold, the platinum record packages, or the VIP. Those are all 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks from today, and then it's done. We're shutting down the store. Well, we're shutting down the package part of it. If you want to buy some of the pre-event coins, they're still available. But we're going to shut it down because we got to get orders in because it takes a lot longer nowadays to get stuff made and shipped and all that. You get the idea. The Thursday and Friday events at Cache Fest are now community celebration events, but we haven't published them yet. We're still working on that. Then I wanted to mention 2 megas coming up because I wanted to mention them. One is the Camp Go Lee, which stands for Geocachers of Long Island. Long Island's big event, GC9HPXN. So that's GC9. H is in hike, P is in puzzle, X is in X-Files, N is in nature. GC9 HPXN. It is July 9th is the date for that one, up in Long Island, New York. And we encourage you, if you're available, to go to that event. It looks like a lot of fun. They're planning a lot of cool stuff for that. And so there's that one. And the other one I wanted to mention is the one in Queensland. If I can pull it up here. Cache QLD, actually in Townsville. Well, it's Queensland province. Cache QLD. Some of the Aussies in our show tonight that are in there. Kitty Catch, I think, is going also. I know if Ozfox is going. I know Darren's going. But that is the event date is 4/16 for that event, and we're going to cache QLD in Townsville, and so that'll be great. They have a great itinerary. Check theirs out. Their things start on Friday. There's some pre-event stuff, and there's the things on Friday, and then of course Saturday and Sunday. There's some great things, and I love their logo. Let me show this real fast, and then I'll get off the airwaves. Let you guys get back to your show. Here we go. I think y'all find this clever. Now, if I find the right one to share. There it is. Love it.
Big Tom Peter holding a ammo can. Townsville 2022.
Crikey, she's a beaut.
Oh, crikey. Yeah, I love that.
Not an alligator.
It's a great. Same thing. And then don't email me. I know they're not the same thing. It was a joke. So. And what else? I think that's all. The academies are going great for Cache Fest. They're all in process. And what am I missing in the notes? I think that was all my notes for tonight. So back to you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah. Lots of stuff happening this summer, definitely, for sure.
Well, hey, real quick, there is one other challenge. You asked about challenges earlier. It's not really necessarily a challenge cache, but it's a challenging cache.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So Tim, Merlin 1392 and I are going to be doing a deep. It's actually here's the event. He was posting it in there. It's the Deep Dam event cache, GC9 N197. We're going to be doing a dive cache on a dam, and it's supposedly about 55 feet down, and it's a
the Deep Dam event. I love
It's going to be it's going to be challenging because it is a 5.5 virtual, one of 41 in the world.
It's one of the original 13 before they re-released them as well.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it was one of the original 13 5.5s before they re-released virtuals again.
Oh,
so
man.
And we're doing that June 28th.
Now, are you diving down, Derek? Or are you just is this like a tree cache where they throw it down to you?
No. I'm diving down.
Or throw it up to you?
Yeah. I'm actually qualified up to 130 feet. I have my advanced dive license, but I've got to go get not requalified, but I got to do some refreshers because I'm a little bit more buoyant than the last time I dove. So none of my equipment fits me. So I got to go. I'm going to go do that. But we have a local, believe it or not, there is a dive shot here in Memphis. So I'm going to be going to get some, go back through a refresher class real quick. But the good news is that Tim is a dive master. So at least I'm not doing it without somebody that's really well knowledgeable, and we have a lot of fun do. But come out and join us, see us off. If you want to dive with us, come dive with us, but it's going to be cold. I was reading one of my friends here that did it, and when he did it, the water was 55 degrees. So
that's not that bad.
It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly. So, but it's supposed to be a lot of fun.
If we tie a string to your foot and hold on to the string when you go down, does that mean we were kind of sort of there and we can log it?
No, you can just pull up the ice cube.
Yeah. It'll float.
So
I see Chad's wheels are turning. Chad's thinking, the cache is down there. If I could create a device, if I could have a robot go down and get it and bring it back up and then have it go back.
no, it's
does it
a
count?
virtual. It's a virtual.
Oh, it's a virtual. Oh, you're right. There's no
I
no
can
cache
dive.
down there.
I'm
But
sure
there's no armchair in this one.
Yeah, Chad's certified. He could go.
I'm intrigued. Is
certified
there
insane.
something under the water you're going to see?
A plaque, right?
Right. There's a plaque. There's a plaque that we have to
Okay.
go get the information off of. Of
That
course, there
is
will be a
so-
video, but I'm not going to reveal the code because there's not a lot of logs on this one, as you would expect.
Well, it'd be hard to see the plaque if there's a lot of logs on it.
Well, it would be. Yeah. it
Tim's
would
in
be
the
kinda
chat
covered.
room.
Yeah, there's
This
3
dive
attempts,
crew
will
gets
attempts on
to
it so
log
far.
it as a find as well. We need helpers to carry gear to the water. So
Now that part I could do.
Okay, so
There you go.
Tim, are we going to have like thrones and they're going to be carrying us with the dive gear on?
Yeah.
Are you bringing rental gear?
And they just dump it. Do what? Say that again, Chad.
So are they bringing extra gear, like rental gear?
I don't. Hopefully, we can get it on. I don't know. I want to get as many dives as I can because it's been a while since I've dove. But yeah, it's going to be some rental gear. I'm hoping to get the local dive shop here to sponsor me in it to be able to go get the stuff.
Houston, Texas Dave thinks he can, it's virtual, Dave. You don't need a big magnet. But good thinking there, buddy. Big magnet for an ammo can.
I'm thinking Chad just build us a submarine with a light and a camera on it. Remote control submarine.
You can actually get an RC submarine that will take a picture. So you kind of cheated that if you want.
That's interesting. That sounds like it's legit. That's a legit find. Tool
It doesn't say you have to dive, right? It doesn't say you have to open water dive or anything, right? You just got to take a picture of the plaque.
Yeah,
I like it.
Theory. That's the other thing too, isn't it? Derek, Memphis, the Memphis Dive Shop. He's a geocacher, or
He's a geocacher and he's a reviewer.
There's a geocache.
Okay, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, he's
there's
one
a
of our
cache.
reviewers. He's a dive
Yeah.
master, and he actually does classes and everything. It was actually kind of funny when the event published. He sent me a message. He goes, "Hey, it looks like it's time for you to get that refresher class." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, the event.
Yeah, really.
And then Merlin sent me a message like, "Hey, the event publishes." Yeah, I know the reviewer just messaged me.
It's awesome. Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. It's like I said, it's going to be a challenge. Not the type of challenge that you all usually talk about, but it's going to be a challenging cache. It's going to be a fun cache. It's going to be a video. So my funny thing is, I've gone 73 feet up in a tree in a video. Now I'm going 55 or more feet under the water for a cache. So
clever.
Doing some extremes. I don't just do gadgets. I do some of these other ones too.
That's right.
So,
Part-time.
That's cool.
Yeah, part-time.
Inspiring me to.
I want to do one off of a cliff. If I can find a good one off of a cliff, because I used to do rappelling and all that kind of stuff too.
All you gotta do is come to Colorado. I can find you 1,000 of them.
Oh, sweet.
This
Yeah,
all sounds so exciting. I want some adventures.
throw me
Yeah.
off of a cliff. Throw me off of a cliff. I'm ready for it.
There
Hey,
were a
I'm
couple
willing
just
to throw you off the
published.
cliff. That's not a problem.
There were a couple of rappelling caches just published not long ago outside of Cody, Wyoming, in the canyon headed towards from Cody to Yellowstone National Park. So a buddy of mine sent me a message and said, "Do you have rappelling gear?" I was like, yeah, I have some. And
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
So you've got to rappel down the cliff to get it. This guy's been a climber and a rappeller for forever. So there are some out there.
Oh yeah.
I'll bring my drone
Going
and film
down's the
you.
easy part. It's the coming back up. It's
Oh,
the
the
hard
centers. Nah, centers. Yeah. I got you
It's
covered.
kind of like climbing a tree, going up or coming down, which is easier.
well depends
Yeah,
on how
really.
you come down.
Well,
Yeah.
depends how you come down.
But you're making me curious now. I feel like I should ask one of my regional
But Emily,
reviewers
you're
about.
not a stranger to stuff like that.
I'll do anything. I mean, I'm not certified in diving, but I would get certified to do that.
Well,
I'll
you've
wait
done
at the
the
top in a rubber ducky.
you did those you did the culverts. Those are not that's
No,
that's
I'll
got
do
some
any
risk
culvert.
to it. That's a little risk based.
Oh, I love risk.
Yeah, culverts, she's good at those. So You did
I wanna check
2,
with
right?
the reviewer to
in
find
Rome,
out,
you did the
'cause-
2.
The 2 in
You're
Rome.
Yeah.
I
You're
think y'all are
hosting
talking
the
over
event.
each other, Gary.
Sorry.
Can
There's a little
can you
audio
hear me? I don't
issue. Gary and Geoff are both talking at the same time.
No, I was just saying that I got to check with the reviewer to find out the possibility of publishing an event related to finding a scuba cache. We have a couple in the area that they rarely, if ever, get found, but I know a lot of people who would probably love to get it or experience it. So I might see if there's one of our local geocacher scuba divers who might want to maybe host an event. Problem is, you can't host an event to find caches, at least in Ontario. So it has to be
Right.
like an event that's just an event for gathering, and then afterwards, maybe we go
Yeah.
find the cache if you
You
want.
can
to.
mention that. You just have to say it's a separate part of the event. After the event's over, some of us are going to the
Yeah.
nearby cache.
After
That's
event.
not a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
Not
we
part
can't
of the
even mention
event.
that in Ontario.
Yeah.
You can't
Oh, really?
encourage people to go find caches related to the event. Like,
Because who
in
would
the
want to
event
encourage
listing.
people to go find geocaching?
I know,
You-
right?
Put your shipping address, type
Yeah, that seems. Well, we have some reviewers in our chat room. They could probably, maybe, if there's a simple way to comment on that. But I know you can't, like you said, you can't tie them together. But
Mhm.
I mean, I can't see there being a problem unless you mention it some else. But we always tell people, hey, we're going to have the event, and then when we're done, we're probably going to go out after that. So stick around, and we'll go do that together. And so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
the
there a way-
wording thing is the issue.
Okay.
I guess because I
Can
know
you mention
Ontario's had
ju-
some controversies and stuff as well. So it's like our reviewers have had
Yeah.
to deal with some interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make it a point of interest on the event at the bottom. You can do like the waypoints. The point of interest is the cache, and then just don't mention it.
Right.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They're cachers.
They'll figure it out.
Well, because you could publish it as an event to learn about scuba diving and chat with people and that kind of thing, and then there's announcements and I don't know. There's ways you can get around it, but that'd be interesting to see if we could do that around here. Maybe draw some interest for the scuba caches.
Jesse,
you can have an event
explain
on
this
water.
one.
Why not under it?
You can
Why
have
can't you
you
do
can
it?
have an event where you can boat. You can have an event where you can do all this other stuff. You couldn't force anybody to go into the water, but you can say we're going to be scuba diving during this event. If you show up,
Can you
it's
really?
great, and
Okay.
obviously they'll figure it out after that.
Yeah, especially if it's right next to a cache.
It's
We
not
really
like
had-
geocaching doesn't want geocachers
Right
to go
over a cache.
geocaching after events. You just
Yeah.
can't make an event just to go geocaching.
Yeah.
I
In
do
Ontario,
wish-
we had a period of experimentation where they allowed that, like group caching events. So for a short period of time, they allowed you to publish an event saying this is where we're starting and we're going out to find these caches, and that is the event. So they experimented with it for a bit, and haven't heard anything after that experimental period.
But there was a thing Jesse and I we had all these schemes, and we have lots of schemes. But one of our schemes was before. I think this was legal on the guidelines for a while. In that, back in the day, you could do basically different DTs for all events, and so we had come up with a plan where
Oh, right.
you could do, like, if you wanted to get to the event, you had to go through a very D5 type, like you had to figure out the clues, you had to, solve the puzzle, solve the riddles, kind of a puzzle thing. And once you figured out all that, then you could figure out the code that gets you through the door, that gets you into the event. But of course, all that got thrown out.
Yeah,
the
that
door.
is.
At least that's,
by the way, for anybody that's curious, that is not allowed. Not even
No.
close.
not even
Not
close.
allowed at
But
all.
there was something we talked about that back, because was it either not allowed, or we thought that if it was to be allowed, it would be kind of cool to have a 5-5 event.
You can. They used to have 5-5 events, but now you only have one difficulty events.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard you make it to get there or figure it out, you can't do that. So it's
No, I know.
specifically
Not
against the rules, and I'm sure that had to do with somebody abusing that somehow. Like,
Oh,
you've got to
sure.
get into this box to find the log to sign the event, and
Right.
You didn't qualify, so you didn't get the. Somebody was doing something abusive with the rules. I'm sure.
Yeah, probably
and
so.
On the terrain aspect, we had a little bit of controversy a while back when there was an event that was a 5 terrain out on water, so you had to have a paddlecraft to attend the event at the location. But I think there were people on the shore who posted their attends, but they didn't have a boat to go and actually get to the event on the water. And when their logs were deleted, they complained, and so there was this back and forth controversy about having like equipment required event or something like that. But on the other hand, there was also another event that was held out at the highest point of Ontario, which isn't all that impressive, way out in the middle of the wilderness. And it was, I think it was a 4.5, maybe it was a 5. It was either a 4.5 or 5 terrain event, and it was allowed. So maybe there's something about requiring equipment. I think this is around the same time as whether event hosts could require a logbook to sign or not.
Yeah.
I think it was around that same time.
Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is funny because this is so far off topic. It's not surprising for us talking about a show that has been off topic for years.
Hey,
well, slipping a little bit back on topic, there is another another bit of news, kind of challengey related.
Yep.
We've got starting tomorrow, the 4th, April 4th. We've got Signal's Labyrinth souvenir promotion that's starting up. Yet another one. And so similarly, you're earning souvenirs by progressing through a particular challenge. And in this theme, Signal is traveling through enchanted forests, maze, basically a whole adventure of his own. And in order to progress, you've got to find caches to earn points, and that moves you forward. The nice twist to this souvenir promo, which hasn't yet been done, I don't believe, is
I don't
that
think so.
yeah, now you can earn extra points by potentially randomly finding items while you're on while Signal is on his adventure, which will give you extra points. But these items are discovered by your find logs. So in past souvenirs, they might have attached certain souvenirs or items to caches that you log, so you can search for a specific item and log that cache to get that item. Now it's purely by your own find log on whatever cache that you search for.
So there's no planning ahead for these special items.
You just got to go
give
cache
you
them.
these certain amounts of points. So you're gonna have to plan by the published points and maybe get lucky with some bonus points.
So
I
it's
kind of like that.
like, yeah. And so if you go find a cache, if I understand correctly, you go find a cache, it's kind of like a grab bag. You get to put your hand in a imaginary grab bag, and if you pull a prize out, then you got something. If you reach in, there's nothing in there, you don't get anything.
Right.
Is that kind of okay?
One way to describe it was like if you set out on the adventure and you've got 5 friends and you're all finding a cache, like the same caches, one, none, or all might find an item when they log their find.
Oh,
it's kind of like
really?
I like it because it's kind of like you're actually going on an adventure, and whoever finds the item first gets it. So it's based on your log, not the cache.
Right.
But it might not be the first person. It could be like the 5th person to log.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody's lucky enough to find the item, virtual item
Gotcha.
at the cache if it's there.
So that item may not be there like tomorrow. It might be there, but it may be there the next day.
Could be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Entirely random.
I don't think
that's
any
pretty
two
clever.
people are gonna have the same experience.
Yeah.
And it's nice because it's not a huge amount of points, but it's little nudges. So it adds a little bit of randomness to the leaderboard increasing.
Right.
Somebody could find 1,000 caches and only ever get like 10 points each or something, but somebody could find 100 and zoom past in points because they find a whole bunch of items. So it adds a little bit of variation.
I like it.
Yeah, Ryan, if you don't log it, we don't know that you found it, buddy. Just saying.
That's right.
Although that's really kind of another show, because although my son's not doing that anymore, he cached for several years. He's in that, I don't know if this maybe is a 30-something thing. I don't know, like early 30 type, or if it's just his generation or if it's not. But he would find caches. He would, sign the log diligently, put the cache back where it's supposed to be, and move on. He did it. He had his fun, but he didn't log them online because it was kind of the opposite, where you have people who log online and they didn't sign the cache, but he did the opposite. And I don't know, he's not doing that anymore. He's kind of sees the point of logging online. So anyway, different.
Yeah, except for when your son's at an event and we're doing those bingo cards, we can always have him sign off less than 100 caches or something.
Yeah, that's true.
He was our
he's always
yeah.
He's signing cards left and right that day. Yeah. That's funny. You're right.
That's great.
Well,
sort of like
there's another little
Jesse
factoid. Another little factoid that's kind of a sad note, but also a happy note. This month marks 7 years since the challenge caching moratorium began. The 1-year moratorium.
Oh wow!
In April 2015.
7 years. Huh?
7 years.
7 years.
So that means we've had our challenge caches back for 6-ish years, right?
It wasn't exactly a 1-year moratorium.
It was ish.
Ish. It was
ish.
It started in April 2015. Yeah. And
how many? You probably mentioned this before, Geoff, but just give me an approximate. I don't need to know exact, but approximately how many pre-moratorium challenge caches are still alive in the world? I don't know. Jesse might know.
I do not know. That's a good trivia question, though. I like it.
Yeah, this could be an interesting.
One thing I can tell you is
May
as I
of
look
2016 is when they came back, right?
Yes.
It was like 13 months, so it'd be any of them before May of 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think I know what Emily's going to say. You didn't have to put challenge in the name of them back in that day.
Oh, right. Yes, it's not the attribute. Yep.
But when I use the challenge cache map and look at Oregon, it is majority old pre-moratorium challenges. Mm-hmm.
And they're still
I
alive.
bet they went back and retroactively added them, though.
Oh, okay, right. That's interesting.
Yeah, it'll have to be place date, so not published date.
Right.
Before.
Well, yeah. Well, you're working on that. I don't know, something if y'all have had this happened to Derek and I don't know if this is more common, in the world, but those old caches, those old challenge caches tend to be abandoned caches. Or, well, I don't know, you would call that one abandoned, Derek. We couldn't get to it because
it was in a locked-in parking lot where you had to have a keypad to get into it. Now, otherwise, it was a fence.
Yeah,
and I don't.
So back
I
in
don't
the day,
go over
of course,
fences as well as I used to.
No, it wasn't one that we felt comfortable. But you see what I'm saying? It was sort of, and I think it hadn't been logged in, I think, quite a while either.
It was a true challenge cache. It was a real challenge to get to.
The parking lot looked relatively new with the way they had it locked in there too.
Yeah. So I'm wondering how many of those old challenge caches are kind of abandoned.
We really don't need to ask that question because that's going to alert the powers that be that there's a bunch of them out there that are abandoned. And
don't look.
Imagine if HQ decided to email everybody and say, "Are you still in the game? Yes or no? Check yes or no.
Yeah.
If you're not, your caches are gone."
Oh no! Gary just spilled the beans.
We would lose so many caches.
Trust me, all of our reviewers today that are watching or listening, they already know about this. I'm not.
I agree, but no reason to poke the bear. No reason to poke the bear. Let's just let him stay hibernating.
Yeah, and don't create more work for the reviewer.
Oh gosh, no.
Yes, I do not want them to be overworked. Correct.
A thing to remember about this search, though, for pre-moratorium challenges is that there's no guarantee that all the results will be challenge caches.
Right.
Because a non-challenge could have challenge in the title. There was no flag for challenge caches. So this is going to be a rough estimate, but there are worldwide just under 14, around 14,000 probably challenge caches worldwide. Yeah. Pre-moratorium still active.
See, Gary says
Gary B
7,000.
says there's 7,813 pre-moratorium challenges in the USA.
Oh, that's in the U.S. So 14,000
Yeah.
worldwide.
14 or 15,000. You know, I guess it's a. Look at those old ones, some of those old ones, and see if they have the attribute.
Oh, if active cachers are adding the attribute, right?
Oh, we were keeping track of that before, and they got pretty even, those numbers. There's 1,300 pre-moratorium in Ontario, but yeah, if we add the attribute, then
see if that changes, the numbers go down. Yeah,
but maybe just a little bit.
I bet it goes down a lot.
Yeah.
No,
Still around
no.
14,000.
Oh my gosh, that's almost.
Because I think the reviewers were really getting on that and making sure that the old ones had the challenge. So we were,
okay.
And when that attribute was introduced, we were watching that just to see how synchronized those caches those listings would get.
Okay.
So
cool.
That's wild.
Okay, so what else do we have?
It seems like you want to add that attribute not only to make it easier for somebody to search it, but that gives you the attribute in your count too.
Yeah,
you've hidden something with that attribute.
Yeah.
You might want to remind people of our giveaway tonight.
Yes.
Just
right
FYI.
up now, we've got our information for how you can win another one of our GeoCoins. And this one is for people who are audio listeners. And if you're in chat, you could also join in. But you can win another GTN coin by April 9th if you email a Geocache Talk Network memory, your favorite memory, to geocachetalk@gmail.com. Again, by April 9th, that's Saturday, for another chance to win a GeoCoin. And cool. Gary, do you have the coins with you so that people can see?
I do. I've got them here. Yeah. And tonight's, you want to mention tonight's as well, because that one's the email giveaway. And then we have one for tonight that will be given away later with the normal wheel. And then you guys have your challenge wheel later. So
yes,
I've got a couple of
we've got our usual challenge talk coin giveaway.
So I've got the really cool, I love this one. I love the logo of the Geocaching with Kids. So it'll focus. We'll have it
a little further away.
There it goes. There it goes. I love that one. That's a great one. And then the other one comes with its own. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's wearing the shirt. And the other one is the puzzle one. So you might have this one, but hey, we always say if you want, you get you another one. Oh yeah, Pathfinder's got it too.
Yep.
The cool thing about sorry, there you go. The cool thing about the puzzle one is that there's a puzzle on the back.
Of course.
So it's got to have a puzzle on the back, right? I mean, come on. I mean, that would be kind of silly if we.
To answer Josh's question, his coins are in production, right? And we'll have them ready for the next show.
Not sure what you're talking about. That show has been put on moratorium.
Isn't it first Friday in April or something or other?
Well, yeah, we are not. That show will not be allowed back on this network until April 1st, whatever the next Friday, April 1st is. I don't know.
2033.
2033, yeah.
So we'll have the coins. We'll have the coins in, Josh.
Yeah, the coins will be in. They're free for everybody that year.
So,
by the way, that was a great show.
It was a lot of fun.
And if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, check the prior show on Geocache Talk Network from April 1st, and you will find out.
I gotta say, I'm disappointed because I thought that was going to be a really cool show.
Can we show the? We've got to show this. Okay, come on. This is
show the open. You want to show the open? Is that what you want?
Yeah, let's do the opening.
Okay, so here it was.
Go for it.
Wrong one. Hold on. It is.
Under the lamppost talk.
With our logo.
That's right.
There's the logo. Was that awesome or what?
That was a lot of
Adventure
fun.
awaits under the lamppost.
So just to recap, that's 2 GeoCoins to give away. And one of them is for people in chat. We've kind of decided that if you're in chat and you win, then you can choose first come, first serve. So comment in chat, hashtag GTN500 to be entered for that first choice. And then you can also enter, if you're listening, by April 9th for a chance to win the other coin by emailing a Geocache Talk Network memory from any of the shows over the 500 and some odd years of podcasting. The 2011, I think it was, to geocachetalk@gmail.com.
And just to mention too, for the Puzzle Talk coins, there's only 3 left in the store. So if you don't have yours, you better get it now.
Yeah. If you want to buy one, then that's it.
That's it.
I don't have any extras.
I don't have any
The
extras
only ones
either. That is all I have.
The only one I got is behind me. It's on the, and I am not giving away that one for sure.
Once we run out of coins, the shows are over. I mean, if you don't have a coin, you
Oh.
can't have a show. So
no, we got.
It's not even a legit podcast if you don't have a coin. So we just got to cancel the show.
Coins exist. They're
The price goes
So
up.
I got some more. I got some more beans to spill on that about the next Geocache Talk.
Nope. Nope.
Gone.
Not yet.
Gary's gone.
Not yet.
Kick him
Not
out.
yet. No.
No bean spilling.
So that's the update.
Nope.
So I had to share that tonight. So there you go. Wait, y'all heard that, right?
Yes, everybody heard it.
It'll be in the show
Okay,
notes.
good. I'm glad y'all caught that. Good, thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, it just so happened that tonight is the 500th show across all of the Geocache Talk Network
How
podcasts.
cool is that?
Yeah. That is a nice round number.
I don't know when I started listening, but I have been listening for so long. This has been one of my favorites. Yeah.
And
Appreciate
for
that.
Challenge Talk, this is our 22nd. Yay! What a number. But being
If
one
you
a
think
month,
about it,
that's
though,
still
that's months.
That's almost 2 years. Yeah.
That's months. So that is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Did we start in the middle of the pandemic?
We started, right after the pandemic started.
How about it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Officially
Great subject,
old,
and I think it
Jinxer.
needed to be touched on.
Officially old.
Officially old.
Officially old.
500 is old.
500 is sold.
I mean, it's.
I mean, and that's
pretty
mostly Gary.
amazing.
Gary
Yeah.
started off this thing by himself. So I mean, if anybody's old,
Thanks. Jesse was not too far behind me in joining, so let's not forget.
Yeah,
that.
what was that? Show 11, it said?
Show 11?
like
he was
that.
on show 11, but
No,
he joined.
I wasn't on at first as a host. You called me on for something happened,
just
didn't
to be
you?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, technically, Jesse was on show 4. If that's a good trivia, if you want to make a note, show 4 was audio only. It was called GT14er, and I was interviewing people in line, getting their swag for GT14er.
Oh, that's
and Jesse and Christy were working that, and I interviewed them, and they were part of show 4. So if you ever go back and listen to show 4, you'll hear Jesse. Then he was on show 11, and then I'm looking now to see he was on show 18, and I'll tell you the date that Jesse was on permanently, and that was don't do the drum roll because I'm still looking for it, but I'll find it. While I'm looking for it, I'm going through all the shows. Yeah, but in case anybody wondered, the first show was June 12th of 2016. Geoff, that you were asking about the.
Yeah, and Gary was like, "Hey, let's do a few shows. It won't take any time. Don't worry about it."
Right, and then here he
We've
is.
all heard that before.
Yeah.
you've
We all got
heard
suckered by that same line.
yeah.
By the way, y'all
yeah.
are all renewed. Everybody's been renewed. Your contracts are renewed. So, and I'm going to double your pay. So
For double the pay.
All right. Woo.
Yeah. And that was just Geocache Talk. Like that was just the one podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But,
true.
now
I
it's the
understand.
network.
Yeah. It's so much more now.
That expansion to the network was a big stage in the
Right. You
development.
guys have been so visionary. I think that's what's so neat about the network. You know, the network is all of these different shows, but it's all of these different activities. You know, look at what we've done. We've had our own leaderboard challenge hosted by HQ.
That was awesome.
You know, like who else has done that other than HQ's official leaderboard challenges? Podcast of Hope. You know, look at the money we've earned just from having a vision to give back.
And something about Podcast of Hope. This last year, we were in the top 10 fundraisers for Podcast of Hope.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that is so
I don't think we
cool. I
even
did
tell
not
her.
know
We forgot
that.
to tell everybody about
Yeah,
that.
before
you
now.
have
Eric's
put that
got-
out.
I'm finding it. It's right over here behind me. Let me grab. They sent us this.
Eric's going to go grab that. I forgot all about that. Derek got sent a note saying, here he is. He's got it. You guys were in the top.
Sorry, it's
St.
at the
Jude.
top. I got to get some of the dust off of it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I could. Yeah, you get.
I did not know that. That's the first I'd heard of that.
Yeah,
And I'll read the note,
completely
I'll read the
wrong
note
about
here in a
that.
second.
It's really cool.
So,
display.
so they sent us this.
Hang on, I got you.
Well, I got to see if I can get it to where.
Oh yeah, you can
it's
see it.
linked
Oh, we
to.
can see it. Yeah.
Oh, it's
If you-
digital and changing.
Yeah,
Thank
it says
you.
thank you
Yeah.
over. I'm gonna see if I can adjust my camera real quick. Oh,
It looks
not
good
that way.
though. No, we can see it. We can read it.
Well,
It says
no, you
thank
can't
Drop
see
the
it. Really
exposure a
good.
little. Yeah, if you drop the exposure a little.
Yeah, I know.
brighten
That's
up
what I'm
the
working on, Jeff. I got it.
Cool.
I just gotta get to my screen.
Technology.
there you go.
Oh, wow, there you go.
And there's the
Oh,
logo.
and the
Oh, that is
logo.
awesome.
Thank you from St. Jude. That is really
It's
cool.
got their logo on it.
Wow. So
And then it goes in. It's a game, and then it'll change something here in a second. It runs through a
That's
whole
really
different
cool.
process of stuff.
Right.
Audio
So-
listeners, this is why it's great to watch and join in live.
That's right.
Just seeing the cool sign that they
You see
sent us.
breaking
yeah.
news awards, a LED
Yeah.
sign.
So there's
oh,
a
there's the heart.
those-
and
Oh,
there's
wow.
different things. Sometimes they'll have like a flower or something like that, or different things. So that's really cool. But the note, and I'll read the note here in just a second. But the
That
note
is
itself,
awesome.
and I have that right here as well. It's the Fever Avenger. And it says, "Congrats on being one of the top 10 fundraisers for the 2021 creative season. Thank you and your amazing community so much for supporting St. Jude Kids. Enjoy this game frame and have an amazing day. St. Jude Play Live team."
That is so great.
That is
And that
awesome.
that Fever Avenger was like a superhero drawn by a kid from
Right.
the hospital.
Yeah.
Like St.
Right.
Jude's
Fever
always
fighter.
It says at the
yeah,
bottom,
St. Jude's always has art drawn by their patients, and so that
Right.
thank you
Yes.
card is too.
We
That's
also got
really awesome.
a weighted blanket with the Fever Avenger on it, and there's like a toy apron for kids, and there's some other stuff that we're going to be giving away during Podcast of Hope
Yeah.
this next year.
Oh, wonderful! That is so
Oh my
perfect.
gosh, that is
And that
so.
weighted blanket's heavy.
Wow.
I mean,
So
it's like 20
what an
pounds.
amazing detail to add about the neat things that we've been able to do, including Podcast of Hope.
Mhm.
And then of course we had our mega virtual event
Yeah.
in
Our response to
2021.
the pandemic.
That was a
Our,
that was a
our
giga. That
pandemic
was a giga.
mega.
You're right. That was a giga, or would it be a tera almost?
Almost close.
It
Actually,
really was a
yeah.
Terra.
It was a
Hey,
Terra.
people
We
are
were the
still
first to
attending
do
that
it,
event, so
Tara.
it's still going up.
Mhm.
Yeah. I put in
Yeah.
the chat room just also a note that we've raised over because we're estimating, but we think we got pretty close to the right amount. But we know we've raised at least $36,968 over the 6 years we've done Podcast of Hope.
Awesome.
And a fourth of that was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year we
Exactly.
grow. So
Getting
yeah.
bigger and
But when
bigger.
you're-
Every year.
yeah.
New goals.
So yeah, that's that's a tribute to you guys, and it really is a tribute to the whole network and all the work.
You know what
that
the
everybody's put
natural
into
question
it.
is, right? Can we reach 50,000 this year?
Ooh,
That's a good
we need-
one.
what we need,
50,000 in 1 year?
10,000 something.
In total.
Not
No,
50,000 in
no,
1 year. 50,000
Oh.
total.
So we need a
Yeah,
$15,000 goal this year.
Basically, yeah, almost. Well, 14. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
you can do it. We got it.
You know, something I want to point out. I'll let each of y'all kind of do your, talk about the things about the network that you want to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and do mine, and then I'll let you guys all do yours. But first thing I wanted to point out, or something I wanted to point out, was, one of the things that I try to strive for, and I really work hard on, is the whole concept of the edutainment, the fact that we want to educate all the geocachers, but also we entertain. So something that Jesse and I have really focused on from the start, which was really getting great guests. That was something that we really was a big focus for us, and not just do the same thing over and over again, or do the next we're doing show number 6 on multi-caches. We don't ever want to do that. We wanted to try to bring it, something new, something fresh, and we've repeated a couple times, but I think for the most part, our focus has been bring you the best show and the best guests. And the point also with the getting some of those outliers was also to try to sort of expand the possibilities. And of course, Podcast to Hope is a little bit different because that's always been a mishmash, and we always try to make that, because the point of Podcast to Hope was to raise money for St. Jude. So there are times when there will be people on that don't geocache. Like every year we have people on that don't geocache. So that's not the point of Podcast to Hope. But I think that's something that I've been very proud about, and that Jesse and I have talked about many times, and that is bringing you the best guests and bringing you the best podcast based on, even if we don't have a guest, Jesse and I really work hard to figure out, now, is that a topic we really think we want to cover? And we really labor over all of those things too, because we want to just not throw a show out there. We want to make it, something that's worthy of, we think is worthy of the Geocache Talk Network. So there you go. That's my spiel.
We should do a show. We can't, but we should do a show sometime about all the topics we chose not to air. that would be a fun one.
Cutting room floor.
That'd be insane.
There's definitely certain things that we chose not to do for many reasons. But I'll jump in behind Gary. I'm going to cheat. So favorite moment, I'm going to cheat because Emily's kind of already talked about my favorite moment. But so nothing touches St. Jude for me ever will. I would do this whole show just for the Podcast to Hope. I know that's not what we're doing. We're doing geocaching, but nothing trumps that for me. So, but that's two obvious ones. So I'm not going to go into mine. I'm just going to throw them out real quick. When we got to do the live show down in Texas, that was fun. And then when we got so that was kind of not a regular show. And then another, not an actual kind of regular show, was when we got to watch Treasure live on the screen. So we were doing events down in Texas. We got to do that at the drive-in.
Yeah.
And then, as Emily also mentioned, the
awesome.
Pandemic, CacheCon, Giga, Mega, Terra, whatever. That was just fun because of all the positive response we got. But one of the most fun times, we haven't done it in a while, but when I got to play the Goofus character and do all the bad answers for a couple shows, that was fun. I got to go through the whole show giving bad advice. That was pretty fun. So I probably picked that, but it's one of my favorite ones I got to do because it's like something you should never say to people, give the bad advice show. So we may have to revisit that at some point. That was just too much for me.
The skit was a lot of fun. I'd let Derek talk
thanks,
about
Lori.
that.
That was fun.
And Emily, we all got to be part of that one.
Where'd Chad go?
Guess who wants to go next?
Yeah.
Okay, he's there. He's just in audio.
Jesse, you didn't mention singing at Texas Challenge.
Well, I mean, obviously that was just like a gold record moment, Everybody needs to hear me sing. That's about as bad as you can get.
How funny.
No, we could sit here all night long and we would run it way too. It'd be like a podcast of hope, talking about all the funny things that have happened, whether they made it to the air or not. There's been a lot of fun, both in front of and behind the scenes. So it's been a lot of fun anyway.
Yeah, I think what's so special is this is a really great innovative group of people with vision, people who want to make everything better. Whether it's something that exists or something that doesn't exist. And so I appreciate this group. I appreciate everyone who's listening because they're our group, they're our community. You'll hear me say that every time when I'm asked, but the community is just wonderful. I know that geocaching brings so many of us together, but then when we even have this tighter community of our network folks,
oh yeah,
we see you guys out there and you're special to us. And I love it.
And Emily, too, what you just said is true because, like, the 8 of us did, and there's a couple more in the network, but the 8 of us that are here on the show tonight, we didn't put in $36,000 to Podcast of Hope.
No,
that was everybody that's listening and everybody. We put in our little meager sums. I mean, obviously Gary is rich, but the rest of us aren't, so we only got to put in our change. And it's all the people that are listening, all the people that are watching. Those are the ones that raised over $36,000 for something that's totally not related to this show at all.
Yeah.
Just out of the goodness of their heart. So that's not credit, doesn't go to us. That credit goes to everybody else.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, I'll mention some of my favorite stuff for the 500th. I mean, obviously, as usual, St. Jude's, the fundraising thing. That's an obvious one. But I think apart from that, I was excited to be able to participate and help with the Worldwide Cache Con, doing something virtual because I mean I love getting my hands in things graphical and technical and just being able to help out and do that section on Earth Caches and Adventure Labs, and I think just the event itself was awesome to be able to bring people literally worldwide together for to be inspired by, learn about, and be entertained by all these geocaching subjects, and that was a huge undertaking as well. I mean, St. Jude is one thing, but creating this extensive collection of videos and interviews and all that stuff. I mean, it was huge, and everybody involved did a fantastic job, and it's still out there for everybody to watch, which is also great. And we're still getting discoveries on all the trackables that are discoverable throughout the event.
I'm glad I didn't have any of mine on that.
You'll still be getting them. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Something I just wanted to point out
those notes. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. So one of the things we were doing when Jess and I were talking about expansion, one of the things we wanted to do was, since we are truly international, we have such a following around the world. We have literally people in I think I have to go. I'll get new numbers for that, but it's like over 20 countries, and we're not talking about just like one. We're talking like every month we got people like double-digit amounts in all these countries all over the world, and we thank everyone so much who do listen to us in all the across the world. And one of the things that we really wanted to do, one of the things we wanted to expand upon was, we were like, well, when we add more hosts, we got to really think about this. And so we started looking at that. And one of the things and reason why we picked Geoff for many reasons, but one of the reasons we really appreciated the fact that since he's not in the U.S., it really does kind of help expand our horizons. And when we were thinking about people, Geoff there were several people we thought of that we love, we interact with, and we appreciate, but Geoff was one that we really thought about, that we wanted to bring on board. And so we're very proud of that Jess and I think we picked really great podcast hosts. And I think the chat room would agree with me, the fact that we just didn't throw a dart at a board and go, oh, okay, well, I could hit on Geoff, we'll pick him. That's not how we did it. we labored over a lot of people that we wanted to, and basically went through and thought about it and thought, who we really would be the best to bring on, not just, fill a spot. We wanted to really think about that. And so that's why we picked the podcast host that we did. And also wanted to point out that he's sick tonight, but Pizza Ninja has been a great help for the whole network. I know everybody's very thankful for him. He's under the weather, but he does so much for us overall in the social media. It really, we joke about, but you can do so much more as a team than each of us doing it individually. So the team effort really is a important thing for all of us.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think to remember about this. The network, I mean, it's a bunch of podcasts, but it's even more people involved. It's a huge team.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that's come together through all these events and ideas and concepts and stuff. I mean, that's teamwork at its finest, I think. But yeah, so that was Worldwide Cache Con last year, and just being and now we're moving into making that live at the event this year at Worldwide Cache Fest. And
how cool is that? Has any other
Yeah.
geocaching podcast put on a mega?
Nope.
Yay!
I don't even know what you're
Not
talking
just
about.
that.
Was
No,
it-
we
was it
went
coming up?
mega in 36 hours.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It went mega in 36 hours.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that just shows how, like Emily said it the best. That just shows how the community really wants to just have fun, and pull together and do fun things like that. Doesn't have to be about anything else but having fun. And we have the best community out there. We get to see them some in person. Now that the world's going back to real life, we're going to get to see all these people, all this community again, and hopefully all in one place. But we're going to get to see them all again. It's going to be like real life again.
And it's going to be so awesome because, we like the podcasts cover major subjects about geocaching, various aspects. And the fact that we're working together to create content for Cache Fest that's also surrounding these subjects. Because we've got the academies, we've got the Puzzle Academy, we've got the Gadget Academy, and we've got the Challenge Academy. And, we might be a little biased here, but we are excited for the Challenge Academy.
Yay.
We've got so many ideas, and they're coming. And, we'll have announcements coming down in the future. But,
Were
just
we going to
be
announce
prepared.
Were we going to announce Rib Eating Academy tonight?
Rib Eating Academy.
Which academy?
Rib
Rib Eating Academy. Okay, yeah, I follow you now.
Those are side events.
Yeah,
That's the side event. Yeah.
Ribs,
We're-
side.
They are coming together. All the academies are coming together. I mean, they're so unique, and they're going to be so great. And we're trying to make sure that if you want to pull an Emily, and what I mean by that is if you want to do everything, like everything at a mega, that's Emily. She wants to do. When you if you go in caching, go with Emily because she's going to go do.
She wore me out.
Yeah,
everything.
She too much energy.
You're welcome.
There was a point where I dropped Emily back off I think you dropped you back off at the hotel. We were both at the same hotel. I said, all right, Emily, I'm letting you and your mom go because y'all can't keep up with y'all. Y'all are rolling. And so no, I had to go do something else. And y'all were like, cool, we're off. We're off again.
Yep.
I think that's when they headed to the culverts.
Probably.
Yeah, they were headed to the culverts. Yeah. And I was headed with my son.
Somebody's wanting. Gadget. Yep, I was just seeing that. LPC Academy.
If Joshua's going to come teach it.
We'll place some LPCs at the event, like actually place some lampposts at the event, and then hide some caches in there. There you go.
That's right. We'll have the lamppost first. That's funny.
There's 1,000 ways to do it. We learned the other night. There's 1,000 ways to do that. I had 10 different red herrings on an LPC cache. You could do that.
Right.
So Tim likes it, but what are some other?
We're almost at an hour and a half.
Maybe we should sell some lamppost
Yeah,
caches.
we got
so much
a lot of games to play.
Yeah, we do.
Any other lightning round? Any other memories come to mind that you want to share?
I can kind of give real quick. Another thing that was completely out of the box, and the way I really got kind of involved, it was the original the GT stash.
Yeah,
Getting to find that. Myself and
Right.
Charles, who he lost
Him and
power where
Charles.
he's at, so he dropped off. Charles also went. So two of the hosts now. We found the GT stash. I found mine in
Yep.
South Carolina, and then he found his like at Four Corners. I think is where it was. So so that was really fun, and that's kind of really how we really kind of started talking and doing some aspects of that. Was the first time I was on that because being on there for a winter, and then it just kind of expanded from that, and it's just loved getting to be actually the first podcast off of the original, which was geocaching with kids. Got to do that, and then later on got asked to be on Gadget Talk. So those are the two kind of spinoffs. Then it went, what was it? Gadget Talk, then Puzzle Talk, then Challenge Talk.
Yeah.
So I think that was the order that went. And now
correct.
The one every Friday of the first week of April now is the newest one, LPC Talk.
Yep.
Or not LPC Talk. Under the Lamppost.
Under the Lamppost.
It went through several different names before it made it to that one. And that one, of course, was hosted by Josh and See My Shell. The geocaching vlogger, See My Shell, did a phenomenal job. A lot of fun working on that. But yeah, so we're growing. We're constantly growing. Some of the other stuff real quick that I'm really excited about, I can't talk about yet.
Oh, there you go. No beans spilling.
Teaser.
Thanks, guys. I'll let y'all move on to the next subject, but I appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the patrons for sticking, for the ones that stuck with us, and even the ones that didn't, the ones that were with us for a while. They're much appreciated too. There's no knock on them as either, because they gave to the cause. So they're always
they helped us do what we did.
Right. They're kind of like, they're always kind of patrons in a sense, even if they're not active. They're kind of part of the family. They're part of the family. So there you go. That's my impression of wow, that's bad. All right, I'll shut up now.
Oh, sorry, I got to make comment to this real quick. The Little Rock, Arkansas GT stash at Applebee's. Houston Dave was talking about this one. I believe every location that Gary put one of these stashes out at,
closed. How about that for? Yeah. Well, one of them was already pretty much was almost under. The one I put in Connecticut was belly up already. But yeah,
but
the Applebee's was active and then gone. Yeah.
So don't let Gary hide caches at your business.
No more.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, just to recap, we've got 2 GTN coins, Geocache Talk Network coins, to give away this show as well, on top of our Challenge Talk GeoCoin. And you can win it, one, in chat at... Someone's trying to show the same banner at the same time.
We did it again.
Third time's a charm.
At the same time.
Okay, there we go. Comment. Hashtag GTN500 in the chat for a chance to win a GTN coin. And the other way is to email one of your favorite memories from the Geocache Talk Network to geocachetalk@gmail.com by Saturday, April 9th for another chance to win that second one. And as usual, if you have any other questions or comments or anything you want to share with us about caching, any questions, anything like that, big or small, email them to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com. And with that, I think it's time for... Oops. There we go.
Wheel of Challenges.
Hey. This is the fun part of the show that we bring it to you guys, and somebody who answers the question correctly that we pose you first will have a chance to win by having their profile checked against a randomly spun challenge on the challenge wheel. To enter, or you can also win, well, the grand prize is a 1 year, I gotta get my words right here. Okay, a 1-year membership on projectgc.com. So if you love challenge caches, you really want that. To enter, send an email with a subject containing "spin me" in quotes, well, not in quotes, followed by your geocaching username in brackets, we've had issues with that before because we weren't quite sure what was part of the caching name. So put your caching name in brackets and the answer to the following question. And the first verified user gets the wheel. Your profile will be checked live on Project GC. So if you care about privacy, but if you qualify, you will win. And so here is your question. If you have your email app open, let's get ready. We'll be watching. The question is, what is the hashtag for Jesse's challenge for the rest of 2022?
Oh, wow.
I know.
We had mentioned it.
We mentioned it. We put
Once,
it
I
on the
think.
screen.
Yep.
Do
Geocache
you
Talk
remember?
Network
Shouldn't be too
and their family are not eligible.
Whoa! Nobody said that. He didn't. Geoff didn't say that we're not eligible for this.
Well, if you want to win another coin, or if you want to win another, well, actually, there's a membership. But no.
Never mind.
Hey, if it extends it, I'll take that Project GC membership forever.
Oh yeah, we all will, wouldn't we? Love that. Such a great app or website, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I know. I've got to start thinking about ways to be creative in hiding those caches, because I don't often hide too many, but I try to be a little different than standard run-of-the-mill hides. Although, I think a lot of people just go somewhere and like there's a hole in the map and they find a great spot for a cache and put it there. Just, because there should be a cache there.
Yeah. You're only talking about hiding 7-ish for the year, maybe 8 if you include a CETO. You can do that.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it depends on how much work you want to put into it. If you're doing gadget caches, like I don't do gadget caches, so if I were to do one, it'd be like it might take a lot of time to conceptualize.
If you need help, I know a guy. Just saying.
Ideas.
Patty,
yep.
Patty, you need to send that to Challenge Talk. Can you put the email up again? Patty sent it to the Geocache one. We need to send it to Challenge Talk Podcast. There you go. Thanks, Patty. Turn around and send that, what you just sent, to that email address, Challenge Talk Podcast. Thank you.
Are we getting anyone, Geoff?
We've had some people sending in answers, and they're close, but not quite. I mean, if you really need to, you could just scroll back in time and try to find it, because it was on the video.
It was.
Way back machine.
This might be our
our
hardest answer yet. I don't think we've taken this long before.
So close. Yeah, I think it's in some social media as well. It's been shared. Maybe it might be in the description or title of a past Geocache Talk episode.
That's possible too. Correct.
I think the easiest way would just be to scroll back, but
right.
Well, that's one easy way. There is another easy way that we can control, but
yes,
that's true.
Well, we could give it another 30 seconds.
There's a banner,
and then see if anybody gets
All
it.
All right, give it 30 seconds, and then I'll flash it.
Ooh, okay, everyone.
And it'll be a race.
And just to let Houston, Texas Dave know, if you do put in for the giveaway, not this part, for the other giveaway, if you put in hashtag GTN 500 more than once, that's okay. It just ignores your other ones, and it'll only give you one chance. So don't hesitate.
Don't spam.
In thinking,
don't spam the chat.
Well, but don't feel like you're not able to post that again.
You can keep posting, but it'll only count once.
All right,
just try not to spam.
Are we ready? Are we ready for the flash it real quick?
Flash it, Derek.
You may flash it.
Woo.
Oh, he flashed it.
It was there.
There's a
few so close, but not quite. And we have the first person.
All right.
Whoever was the fastest to send an email. Yes, we have one in from. Oh, wait a second. It's a sender, but there's no username in the subject. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, we've made the most complicated one.
We have one in now with the username following the instructions. Oh, that's not correct. Oh my gosh.
The drama.
I wish I could show you the screen. It's like everybody's so close, but not quite.
Almost maybe, but not quite hardly.
Not quite. Gotta get it.
Oh, I think there we go.
Syntax.
Okay, now no. Oh, wait. No, not quite.
We're just listening to Geoff think right now.
Okay, we have the correct hashtag, correct username, not in the subject, but I think well that's close enough. We've got a username and the correct hashtag.
Okay.
We've got a winner.
Most of government work.
Try to flash.
So
Not pretty.
we have
Not pretty at all.
Kazoo Otters. Yes, the answer was GTN 2022 Hide.
Like
See,
that.
and that is important. It has to be correct because if we're watching that hashtag, we're only seeing that hashtag. So if it's not quite right, we won't see it.
Yeah.
So
At least after 500 shows, we're professional by now. So we didn't mess that up at all.
Right.
So let's see. Let's spin it first. Kazoo Otters. I'm a little late on the sound.
Ooh, a
5-star. Wow. Okay,
Dang.
quadruple grid challenge. We hit GC8GT8M, the quadruple grid challenge. I thought it'd be neat if anybody here on the network wants to test their username first to see if they
You can
qualify.
test me. I've owned that challenge before.
All 4 of your.
Oh yeah, so this is the quadruple grid challenge. It's GC8GT8M, published 2019, 5 difficulty, and placed by it's just finding our way. That's right. Yeah, and so the challenge here is to currently have all 4 of your personal profile grids filled completely, and that means your fizzy grid, your difficulty terrain grid, your months placed or your Jasmer grid, your calendar, which that is the calendar. The dates found grid, not including February 29th, and the dates placed calendar.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I qualify for that.
Who in our group qualifies?
I got that.
This is like the ultimate
Not I.
for
Me and Chad are out.
4 grid challenge. So loading up the project GC checker. We have a couple like that around here, so yeah, I already qualify. I've worked towards it specifically.
But does Kazoo Otters?
Oh, we could do them last. Let's check Memphis first. I hope he passes.
Yeah, I
Memphis
do.
Mafia.
I actually owned this challenge for a while. What? Yeah, I don't know why it says that. I've had that for years and owned it.
Oh, but you've only found
I haven't logged caches lately. That's probably why.
Oh, see, yeah, you have to have April.
Oh,
You have
it's
to have-
counting April and April.
Oh my gosh, if somebody hasn't logged one in April. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
That's the trick
wanna
with the
log one right
Jasmer.
now,
When you enter a new month, you have to get the current month.
Well, that's not actually right because it's behind because I logged one today.
Was it placed in April?
Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'll go to an event tomorrow. I'll be caught up.
So I ran the
Dang, that's
checker.
tough one.
I'm caught up. I'm still good.
Wow,
That's
Tom,
that's funny.
Oh man,
Really? Yeah, because
Well, so right now I don't have Jasmer.
Well, everybody, nobody has Jasmer on April 1st.
unless
or
somebody
May
has
1st
found.
or June 1st.
So Tom has
got it.
found a cache so far in April. Yeah.
Yeah,
Placed
that's
in April.
funny. Oh my
I'm
gosh,
talking
that's
about
hilarious.
midnight, 12:01 on April 1st. You didn't.
Everybody
have
restarts every month.
Yeah.
every month.
Every month. Yep. Well, let's. Oh, mine still said check. I need to check mine because I haven't found one. I don't have an FTF in April yet either. And I should not qualify. No.
You're not we're all terrible. We're
Nope.
fired.
So I think Kazoo Otters probably already knows whether they qualify.
Probably,
If they
he's probably
found
missing
a-
April.
He
too.
may not qualify if he hasn't got one this month.
Oh,
Look at that.
Oh,
I got it.
look at
qualifies.
Ha ha ha!
They've found one
Beautiful.
in April.
That's all matters.
That is
April.
That's all it takes.
One's all it
You
takes.
beat most
That's
of
so
the network.
awesome.
So Jeff, this is a question for Jeff and Emily.
Yes.
So to publish a challenge, you have to be qualified. But if you're not qualified after the first of every month, is your challenge invalid?
The challenge invalid.
So I would say if it's just like logging a challenge cache. If you qualified when you log it, then you're good to go
That's
forever.
funny.
It could be possible to unqualify later on, but if you have qualified,
that's
then
right.
log that you're good. So
I love
would
it.
say the same thing as an owner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There you go.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really great. After that long discussion, and then they had it. Nice.
That was hilarious.
Wow, Peter.
That is when I published that cache. I think I told the story before, but that's the one that I got yelled at the most because I was told, and it's kind of related to the most recent show, that it should have been an LPC. I made it hard to find also, and I got chewed out for that one.
Wow.
They were like, I'm qualified for this, and I had trouble finding it. How dare you? Challenge is supposed to be easy to find. I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Don't. The best thing is just don't.
Yeah. I didn't do the best thing.
Yeah, Just Finding Our Way, who both published it and is a reviewer, said you have to be qualified when you submit it.
Yes, and that's right. I was obviously just kidding. I didn't want to confuse anybody with that. Please don't take that part seriously.
That'd be funny though. It's like it has to be archived at the beginning of every month until you qualify as the owner.
Disabled until the owner can catch up.
Disabled because not currently qualified to own this cache.
So KZoo Otters, Peter put a note, says thank you. Whole 500 for my April cache. So there's the one he found that got him there. So way to go, Peter.
Good job, Peter.
He was prepped. That was a 5 difficulty on the challenge. That was a 5-2. Yeah. So congrats on that.
That might be one of our most exciting wheels.
I know. Easy and Memphis Mafia don't go together.
Right?
That is true.
So we also have another monthly giveaway where we every month we can give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us a proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show, and anyone who sends an email to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com with the GC code having a found it log, including a photo if you'd like to share, for that month will be entered for the prize giveaway for a Challenge Talk Geocoin, which this time I have come prepared. That is our Challenge Talk coin with a nice gold glow with the chalice. Yeah. So you can add that to your collection if you are selected randomly from the people who have submitted their challenge cache finds for the month.
Cool.
So we've picked a few to highlight because we like to highlight some creative and unusual or fun or challenges that just encourage people to get out and try things a little differently. And so first of all, we've got one from 614 Buckeye who sent in GC1ZKZZY, because I like Z's, not Z's. The Monterey Bay USGS 15-minute quadrangles challenge. And kind of a mouthful to say, but it is published 2006, so it is pre-moratorium for difficulty. And in this challenge, you basically need to find a cache in each of the quadrangles of Monterey Bay, and you might have to look up what it means. But I think it's kind of like the Delorme challenge in a sense. It's breaking up the land areas into arbitrary, for lack of a better term, regions. So you've got to find a cache in each of those regions. And so it's kind of another traveling challenge, not quite counties, but in this case, there are 11. I think it's 15 minutes for degrees, latitude, and longitude. I think that's the size of the squares.
Okay.
So I like that because we have the couple similar challenges pre-moratorium in Ontario, the well squared challenges, and those are specifically degrees or decimal minutes. There's a couple of them smaller squares and slightly larger squares, and people love them because there's one that just for us at least, where one square covers just the northern point of that peninsula in Michigan at the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to qualify for the challenge, you have to go over the border to the U.S. and grab a cache in that tiny little sliver of the peninsula.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was a neat one, and that was 614 Buckeye sent that in, and they also included a photo of the last cache that they found in order to qualify, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
Love that
that's
view.
amazing. Mm-hmm.
Like you look at, you've got the cliffs, and I'm guessing that's the ocean.
Yeah.
Given the erosion on the cliffs, Earth cache knowledge, and a travel bug, I think, perhaps in the foreground on a stump. It's just wow. That makes me want to go traveling right now. Next up, we have one from Kitty Catch. It is, let me get this in here, GC9 ERFD, and it is fizzy with each DT a different month. So WCTSS, the Warby's Challenge Trail Side Series, fizzy challenge with a twist. Now, the fizzy challenge with a twist, a lot of people like to publish fizzy challenges, and I like when they have some kind of twist. We've got a few of those around here as well. The twist on this one, which was placed last year in August, so it's relatively new. Twist on this one is to fill your fizzy grid of 81 possible DT combinations, but each of those DTs have to have been placed in a separate month. So you've got to cover 81 different months as well. And
Cool.
yeah, so it's a whole lot of it's kind of like a mini Jasmer in a way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And what else? Let's get one more in here.
Qualified for that, but it's so far away.
Yeah, qualify for it anyway, because there might be other people who posted the same ones somewhere else that you could log. What else do we have? Let's bring in. Oh, yeah. So I think this one we may have already mentioned. It sounded familiar. Sent in by Gary of the GBs. And it is GC5KM 2D, which is completing a country, the RM challenge number 29. And this one, you need to find all of the active geocaches in a country.
That is so cool.
And the example given by the cache owner on this one is Vatican City, which is considered its own country.
Mm-hmm.
And at this particular time, they're showing 6 active caches in the country. So it's doable. It's doable. But yeah, it's pre-moratorium 2015 January, so pre-moratorium. Probably
the only
very,
way you
very
can get
hard
those caches, though, I think, is to pay for the tour of the Vatican.
Oh, really?
We were there a
Yeah.
couple years ago, right before COVID, and we couldn't get any caches unless you paid to do the tour. And we got into Vatican too late in the day to purchase a tour.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
So
But that
Gary
would be one-
completed it with Barbados, and it was his 3,152nd completed challenge.
And that's huge.
That's just so many.
And after just finding our way, posted his 1,000th challenge find. I was curious. So I looked at my stats. I'm not even at 1,000 yet. I'm like, what? It's so much work to get so many challenge caches. It's definitely impressive.
It's been a fun night. I know we need to wrap up. Did you want to give away
we're over
the
an hour and a
giveaway?
half. Yeah,
let's
almost
go
2
ahead.
hours here. So we have
The final
a winner
giveaway.
chosen. Yep, chosen from people who have sent in those challenge caches, and so the winner of the GeoCoin this month.
Well, not this one yet, Gary.
Nope,
we got to
not this
give
one
away
yet.
our monthly submissions.
Oh, okay.
Our challenge
Sorry.
talk GeoCoin. Our winner is 614 Buckeye.
Yay!
Oh, there you go.
Congratulations.
Cool.
So we will be in touch to get contact info and send that coin your way ASAP.
Okay, now
Now
our
we can
live
do
winner.
That's right.
Hashtag giveaway.
Awesome. Here we go. Perfect.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. We got it.
All right. Are we ready?
Ready for a
Yep.
randomizer.
Here it goes.
It's spinning. It's spinning.
They need to add sound to this giveaway thing. Light a life.
Light a life.
Lit
There you go.
a
Light a
life.
life.
Light a life. You
Cool.
are awesome.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
So if you're in the chat, tell us which coin you want.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're going to get a
And-
random one of the two.
Yeah.
You have a choice.
And remember, if you,
There's your
between
choices.
Puzzle Talk and geocaching with kids.
Yes. So
And
pick one. Let me know. The
if
other
you are
one will go to
listening-
the email winner.
Yep. If you're listening or watching after the show, then don't forget to email your Geocache Talk Network memory to geocachetalk@gmail.com by
puzzle
April 9th. And,
got it.
you'll be able to
Since
able
they
to
have
win.
the kids one already, so they want puzzle.
She has the kids one, so she gets the puzzle. How about planning for that? That's pretty awesome.
That's great.
You got it. I'm sending you the puzzle one, and I'll send the other one to the email winner. So that's cool. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. So email, and we'll get that information so you can get that other coin. Awesome. Iron Man Bingo Challenge update. We always run a little bit every month. Hasn't been anything new, any updates. I know people are working on it, but we haven't had any updates come through yet. So keep doing that. That's my next big one. I was going to work on that after the challenge cache year grid, but well, I'm still going to work on that.
Of course.
That's the main one
You can't do anything till August 31st. You have plenty of
That's right.
time.
Yep. So our
Thanks,
next
everybody.
show
It was a
is going
fun
to be.
night.
Yep. Our next show is first Sunday of May, which is May 1st. And as usual, the show notes will be posted and included with the description of the podcast shortly after the show airs in the video description. So you can find all our links and caches and all that stuff there. So thanks for watching and listening. And remember, it's not about the numbers, it's about the challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Good night and see you next month.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.